All right, so this was the day I was getting my locks. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Lock In. Today we're gonna be talking about my 5-month lock journey. If you're interested, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the video.
Pull up and I'm swerving. Got top from a girl in the military, told her thank you for your service. My city is my circus, and I'm a ringmaster. Watch me open up the curtains. I'm always out working. Cartier, never bought a Cartier. They the ones that bought me.
All right, y'all. So this video is gonna be completely improv. I don't know what I'm gonna see in these pictures. I don't know what y'all are gonna see in these pictures, but let's get into it. All right. So the first picture. That's what I looked like before I had locks. Natural curly hair. I don't know what I was doing. I thought I was a model or something. I was trying to, post up for the flicks. It's all right. Next. All right, so this is when I went home. If you don't know, I live in Italy. I'm stationed here. Went home to Georgia for Christmas break. My mom or my brother's girlfriend twisted up my hair. It was cool, but I just feel like my hair was kind of short back then, versus now. Like, it's a little bit longer, still short, but we were getting there. All right, same twist, different pick. I was on a little ski trip with the family. It looked good though. It looked good. I liked it. If I could have, I would have started my locks with this. These are 2 strands. All right, so this is how I used to go to work before I got the waiver. Coils are kind of a gray area in the Air Force. If you're in the Air Force and you got long hair and you're a person of color, coils aren't technically against the reg, but they're kind of iffy. Some people might say something, some people might not. I had coils from like October, November up until I started my locks. So I was just constantly coiling my hair, 2-3 weeks, combing it out, washing my hair, combing it out, and then putting the coils back in. So just make sure if you start coils, don't let your hair lock up. All right, so this is, I think, the day before I started my locks. This was a twist out. I had some 2-strand twists, and I took them out. My hair was super curly, super defined, like a lot of definition in my hair. It looked good, but like I said, it was short. So this is the length that I had before I started my locks. I had some hairs, like my hair was pretty uneven. So I had some hairs that were going down to like my jaw length, and then some hairs that were going down to like collarbone length. So super uneven, had a trim. It was pretty good after that. More length, dang. Like if you look now with the locks, like that shrinkage will get you for real. All right. Oh, dang. My last picture with curly hair before the locks. I kind of miss it, but at the same time, I don't. Like, I like how my hair kind of lays flat now. I feel like it's a lot easier to manage in uniform as well. So, I don't know. Maybe the Air Force will give us locks one day. Who knows? Oh! All right, so this was the day I was getting my locks. This was me sitting in the chair. Shout out to BB Styles. She's the one that started my locks. I'll put her Instagram up. Yeah, all right. Next. This was when the locks started. This was right after I got my coils. Keep in mind, when I was doing coils before, I was doing it myself. But for this, like for my locks, I wanted everything to be perfect. So I made sure I hit up BB. She used to braid my hair back in the day. So I hit her up. I was like, hey, can you start my locks? And she was like, indeed. Here we go. This is what my locks look like when I first got them. Obviously, it's super stiff from the gel and everything. But in the next picture, still, all right. Next, this is after I put water in my hair. This was the next day. So this was April 7th, I believe. April 7th. So most people are like, all right, don't wash your hair, don't put water in your hair for like a month or 2, right? Nah, like my locks have grown with water the entire time I've had this process. So it's common for me to put water in my hair. Pretty much every time I shower, I wet my hair. Every morning when I wake up, I spray my hair with a water oil mixture. Like, I recommend, me personally, put water in your locks. It helps them lock up faster. When your hair extends and shrinks constantly, that's what causes your hair to lock. All right, so this was the day after I got my locks. Wet my hair. You can see them swinging a little bit. Here comes the video. It was looking solid. It was looking solid. Yeah. All right, so shout out Isaac Garcia, my boy. We were flicking up for one of my homegirls. This is her merch, New Money, childish clothing line. Lock in with her. She got some good stuff on her website. So we were flicking up for that. But as you can see, my locks were brand new. So I'm looking down in this picture, so my locks look a little bit longer. But as you'll see in the next few pictures, like, my locks are super short. That shrinkage is crazy. More flicks, beautiful pic. I love this one. Next, my first retwist. I'm gonna put the dates up on the screen because I'm on my Mac right now. I can't see the dates on here. But dates up on the screen. This is my first retwist. I was on temporary duty in Vegas and I was kind of on my own. So BB started my locks, but I've maintained them myself with the help of my girl a little bit here and there ever since. So back then, when I did my first retwist, I was retwisting with castor oil. I mean, I feel like it's good for starter locks. If you want to try the natural approach, no gel approach, castor oil is fire. However, me personally, I don't like the smell of it. The consistency is kind of weird. Like, it's super thick, which is why it's good for retwists, but it just didn't stick with me. So I started using gel and stuff. We'll talk about that in my next video. First retwist after I took the clips out. It's looking straight. It's a little bit, I feel like there's a little bit of growth here, but I don't know, it was pretty new. Retwist from the top, me at work. I think this was after I started crocheting my locks. So I had a couple locks, especially the one in the very back in the middle. It's a little bit wider of a part. So I was constantly noticing that this one was just fluffing up at the root. It just wouldn't stay in. It wasn't necessarily unraveling, but it was just irritating. Like, I would put my hand back there, I would just be touching my locks and like I could just feel the fluff and it was ridiculous. So me personally, the crochet hook was my best friend. The only tip I have for y'all is, if you're gonna crochet your locks, don't stretch them when you crochet them. If you notice, like, my hairs in the front are a little bit thinner than like these ones in the middle, because when I was crocheting these ones, I was like, I want my hair to be long. I want my hair to be long. So I was like pulling it and crocheting it. Don't do it. Just crochet. If you're gonna crochet them how they lay. Crochet them exactly how they are, and they'll stay thick. And then you just gotta wait. You just gotta be patient for the length. All right. Oh, my first barrel twist. This was when I was in Vegas and I was getting ready to go to Comic-Con, my first Comic-Con. So I wanted to pop out with a little style. So I did my first barrel twist. I will tell you, barrel twists on starter locks is rough, because when you take them out, let's look at the next video. Oh my goodness. So if you look at this video and you see how these barrel twists look when I took them out, my hair was all kinds of like stretched out. Like, it was like a coil, but the coil was stretched. It was like if you stretch a slinky out. Like, it was kind of ridiculous, and I was not feeling it. So what did I do? Put water in my hair. Here we go. Put water in my hair, shook it out a little bit, and then pretty much back to normal, but not really, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Vic Bonet, my dog. It's a little demonstration of what shrinkage will do to you, because if you see in the last video, my hair was looking a little bit longer, and then I went to work, the sun dried my hair out, and it just went whoop. So it was like right here. It was unacceptable, honestly. I don't even know why we took this picture. It's ridiculous. Once again, water in my hair. As I said, you put water in your hair, it'll cause your hair to extend a little bit, give you a little extra length. So if you about to, you know what I'm saying, pop out to the club or something, water your hair, let it stretch a little bit, and then hopefully before the end of the night, it won't shrink back up and make you look crazy. So, you know what I'm I'm saying? Because that happened to me a couple times. Yeah, I definitely needed a retwist in this one. Definitely needed a retwist. So I think partially because I was putting water in my hair so frequently, I needed retwists a lot more often. I also have a lot softer of a hair texture. So my hair texture is probably about a 4A, 4B, probably closer to 4B. So my hair at the root at least was starting to frizz up crazy. So I was retwisting my hair when I started. I was retwisting my hair probably about every 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. I was pretty impatient as well, but as I went on, I got a little bit more patient, a little better at retwisting, stuff like that. So here we go. Ooh, damn. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, definitely needed a retwist. I was going to work like this. Who let me leave the hotel like this? Yo, whoever my homies are, y'all not my homies. Oh, a video. You can see the pre-retwist. Damn, I had like a little afro going on. It was kind of rough. Oh, you could see the lock in the back unraveling. You could see it. So I think this is before I like actually crocheted that lock, because that one right there in the middle, it was rough. Post retwist. So this was back when I was just like grabbing hair, twisting it up over my finger, rolling it, and then calling it good. I wasn't really messing with parts and all that stuff. So you can see that my parts aren't clean, but you know what I'm saying? Like at the time, the retwist did what it was supposed to. So it was cool. Beautiful. I like this picture. Oh, the intro picture. I love it. So the parts were, you know, they're doing enough. So that's all that matters. My hair wasn't making congos and stuff like that. It was straight. Another picture, post retwist. Good pic. You can see the tattoos and shit. All right, we don't have to talk about it. So, bro, my boys clowned me for this picture. Like, bro, I'm just trying to, you know, I see a little bit of light. I'm trying to flick up for it, you know. But all right, you know, whatever, bro. Whatever. Post shower picture. Beautiful lighting. Got a little dot on my forehead because one of the homeboys put a little sticker on the windshield. It's a long story. The babyators. The baby glasses, I got them at Ross. Go ahead, get you some. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves them. Everybody loves them.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
But this picture just goes to show what shrinkage does once again. This was post crocheting. So my crocheting wasn't too extensive, but you know, I was just trying to get my hair to lock up a little bit, and this is what the outcome was. All right, once again, a little update. This is after I came back home. Hair was growing a little bit. You could see, like, especially this one. I mean, this is one of my longest locks, like in the front, but you could see how this one was getting a little bit longer than it was in the previous pictures. So a little update. Definitely might need a retwist in this picture, but whatever. A little length. So you could see, I think it's this one. You could see the difference between like when I pulled my hair down on that first picture versus now, like after crocheting the locks and they start to lock up a little bit, your hair doesn't stretch anymore. So when you first get your coils, you'll see that like a coil is like a slinky, like it'll stretch out and come back, right? But once your hair is locked up, whether it's by crocheting or just by waiting, you know, 5-6 months, this is what you get. Like that shrinkage, it shrinks and it stays shrunk. Baby girl with the retwist. So this was our first retwist together. I came back from Vegas, asked her for some help, so she helped me with this retwist. Let's see how it turned out. All right, yeah. So this one turned out really good as far as the parts go. She did a fantastic job with the parts. The only problem was how short my hair was when I two-stranded it. Because, you know, me being impatient, I was like, oh yeah, my hair's long enough for 2 strands. You know, let's see what happens. It was not.
Shaking my head downtown.
On top of that, the way that I paired my 2 strands, you'll start to notice if you do your own hair, you'll start to notice how you want your hair to be paired, like your 2 strands to be paired. So I was pairing hair horizontally like this versus vertically like this, right? So you'll see in the next few pictures my other 2 strands when I was experimenting and stuff. Like I don't really like the way these ones came out because of how I paired the hair for the 2 strand. So my parts were made specifically to where like it goes straight across, straight across, straight across, straight across, and it's like four columns and then rows from there. So if you start your hair like mine, then you'll start to notice like your hair should be paired a certain way when you do 2 strands. All right, so next, the twist out. It was beautiful. I loved it. The only problem was like I don't really like that hook look at the end of the 2 strand. So when I take 2 strands out, like you'll see later on, I did one set of 2 strands where I didn't even fold the ends because I didn't like how the hooks were at the end. Like I hate that look. Maybe it's just because my hair was short and they were literally just like folded in half like this. Maybe when it's longer, it won't be that big of a deal, but I don't know. I'm not there yet. So this is what I like. When my hair straightens out a little bit and it starts to look a little more natural, but it's still curly, I like that. I love that. So you can still see the parts. You can still see like the little, there's a little, some hooks in the back, but it is what it is. Yeah, this was all around. This was a good look. All right, a little bit of time without a retwist. Hair starting to frizz up again. Like I said, soft hair texture. If you got a soft hair texture, this is what you're gonna go through. Sorry about it. This is on the way for another TDY, another temporary duty, going out to Morocco. Had to drink a little bit before the flight, obviously. A little bit of shrinkage, a lot of frizz. This is what this picture is for, is just to show you how much frizz I was dealing with at this time. Ridiculous. All right, so this is when I started to notice that my hair would kind of stay in certain positions depending on like what I was doing. So I think I was on the phone with my girl or something, and I like laid down and my hair just kind of like hit one of these, and it just stayed there, and I loved it. So I took a little picture. You can still see how much frizz is going on. This lock right here in the very front, you can see that it's kind of blunted off from when I crocheted it. All around, like I like this part. This part of the lock journey is pretty good. Shout out to Grogu in the back. It's my boy. He goes everywhere with me. All right, so my second set of 2 strands. If you look as I turn around, you can see that like the ones in the front, the parts were horrendous, but the ones in the back, the parts were perfect. That's because my girl did the ones in the back and I did the ones in the front, and I was being lazy. She was not. She was putting time into it, and I was being super lazy. You could see that the 2 strands in the front, I couldn't figure out how to get them to stay on opposite sides. Like they were kind of just like folding over to one side. It was all around just a mess with the 2 strands because I did the 2 strands myself. So I was just messing it up completely. But I did find out how I like to pair my locks for the 2 strands though. So that part's pretty good. Twist out. Once again, got the little hooks at the end of my locks. Not really messing with it, but I do appreciate how curly my locks are in this video. They're really starting to mature at this point. I mean, I kind of forced them to with the crocheting, so it is what it is, but this was a solid look. I like this, especially in this video after they straightened out a little bit. Perfect. Loved it. You can see, well, in the back they're a little bit messy. They're sticking up a little bit because I think I was wearing a bonnet at the time, so my hair was just kind of like doing whatever. But yeah, I mess with it. Oh, your boy needed a retwist, and I knew it too. Like you could see on my face how like disappointed I was in how my hair was looking. Super frizzy, super just like the roots were just puffy, and like I don't really mind. Frizz isn't like a huge deal to me, but I don't know. I just don't like when my locks aren't laying flat. Like they were legit like poofing up, almost afro, like sticking out, like just I didn't like that. I didn't like that look. Ooh, my next retwist. So this one was all me. This was the first time I put a lot of effort into parts. So you can see like this is just the front left portion of my head. I was done with, but you could see that I didn't fold the locks this time because I was tired of the little hooks at the end of my locks. So it looks a little bit messy at the ends, but when the twist out comes, it was worth it. So finished product, you can see that right after the retwist, like my hair is kind of sticking up. It's kind of crazy. Like it's just kind of like, it looks like Florida Wicks low key. So, I mean, it is what it is, but if you look at the next video, you'll see that after laying them down with the do-rag or the stocking cap or whatever you use at the time, you'll see that like your locks will kind of lay more natural and they look good in this video. This was when I started getting happy with the 2 strands. I was like, yeah, I really liked it at this point. I could wear them for weeks at a time and not feel any type of way about it. Like this was solid. This was solid. And then this is when I had Ma Dukes take them out. Shout out to Mom. I sat there drinking wine while Mom took my 2 strands out, and I loved the look. This was fresh out the 2 strand. So you can see like no crazy like standing up, no crazy hooks at the end. Like I could literally walk out the house just like this and be cool. So I was really messing with it. Shout out to Mom. And then me and my girl went on vacation, and this is when I realized like I could really pull my hair back and like put it in a bun without it looking crazy, or without the bun being like super tiny. Like I don't know, this was a good feeling whenever I realized I could pull it back and it still looked full. So just little milestones, you know, as you go through, and you'll start to remember them and notice like your locks are actually growing. Oh, so went back to BB for a retwist. Great parts, great retwist. The only thing I didn't like, she did some interlocking on this retwist, and I am not a fan. Like you could see in my face, I was frustrated just because my head was hurting so bad. Like they were super tight. Interlocking is just not for me. It's not for me. I don't like the way it looks. Like my hair is just like all like split down the middle. Like I don't know. It's crazy. You can see dog hair again in my locks too. That's another thing you got to deal with when you get to the stage where your locks are super frizzy and they start sticking together and everything. Like everything gets stuck in your hair. Lint, dog hair, cat hair. Like you might just lay down on the couch, and if you're not wearing a bonnet, like there's something in your hair. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So after a couple of days, I decided like I couldn't stand the look of the interlocking, so 2-strand twisted it. Beautiful 2-strand twist. So this is, as you can see, I kind of like caught my groove with the 2-strand twist. So I was doing them and they were just coming out solid. So like I was really messing with it. 2-strand twists at work. This was the week Aviano decided to just storm crazy. So as you can see, like my hair is frizzy, like all that moisture in the air just kind of like frizzed up my hair. 2 strands are still looking good, but you can start to see some of the rubber bands popping. So I'll let y'all know right now, don't put your rubber bands on too tight, because I started having some pop, some fell out, my 2 strands started unraveling, like it was ridiculous. Wet hair from the storm. They had us out there in the rain, pushing these jets into the shelter and everything. So I was soaked, all the homies were soaked. Pause. It was just not an ideal situation. So all right, if you don't know this about me, I cut my own hair. So this was, had the 2 strands, and I decided like, all right, let me give myself a little cut. It's been a little minute. So cut came out good. I was happy with it, but it was definitely much needed. So like you can see right now, yeah, I might need a little cut again, but it's cool. 2 strands were looking good. Twist out, hair was looking straight. It was looking good. I did fold a couple of them under, and you can see that in a couple on the right side, but it still looked good though. I actually liked it. So maybe as long, like as my hair gets longer, I won't mind the little hooks anymore. So we'll see. All right, the last one. This was more recent. After the twist out, I don't know if I washed my hair or if I just wet it, but you can see my locks are a lot more straight. They're just hanging, and this is when I started to notice like my locks right here like covering my ear a little bit. So I got a homie, Angel Graves, shout out to him. He had locks back in the day before he joined the military, and he always told me, once your locks cover your ear, then the world just becomes a lot more quiet. And so I kind of just been looking out for that. Like I'm waiting for my locks to get down to the bottom of my ear so I can really see what he was talking about. But that was the last video. As you guys can see, like this is where my locks are at right now. Got a little bit of frizz going on. Haven't retwisted in a little bit. I'm actually trying to let these ones in the front thicken up a little bit after all the crocheting. So, I mean, it's not bad. But that's it. So if you guys enjoyed the 5-month journey, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I got a couple ideas brewing that, you know, I might be uploading the next week or so. So thank you guys for watching. See y'all later. Be safe and lock in.